All right, hopefully you guys can hear me back here. It looked like it when I was playing around with it earlier. So let's just find a nice seated position. We'll just move the fluff out from underneath us. And let's just rock a little because it is still early. Just rock a little bit to let your hips settle down. And then when it feels right, just start to find your stillness. Maybe draw the shoulders up around the ears for a moment and then let them drift down and back as your invitation to just let your body start to land. And as your body starts to land, maybe let your eyes land down. And just starting to feel that support of the contact of your body hitting the earth. Start to notice the areas that are touching the ground beneath you. And as you sense that support, just start to notice the support of your spine, keeping your body upright. And then even starting to notice the support of the air around you. And then just letting your awareness just settle a little bit more inward, back and down as you start to notice your breath. As maybe your breath starts to settle down as maybe your morning's already been a little busy, or just, following around kids and all the things, animals. So perhaps just start to slow the breath down and deepen the breath just a little bit, breathing in and out through the nose. As you let your breath fill you. I just wanted to do a brief opening today with a quote from Book of Awakening from Aja Udasa. The mind composed of ignorance or wrong views suffers from spiritual disease. It sees falsely. Seeing falsely causes it to think falsely, speak falsely, and act falsely. You will see immediately that everyone, without exception, has the spiritual disease. So as we practice today, we're just releasing any of those things that cause us to act, think, or talk falsely. As we just are here in this present moment and being with what is. Being true to who we are. And the 4th of July coming up this weekend, so on Monday, we just celebrate our country's independence, no matter what's happening in the world. But we celebrate that, and we remember that we have to focus ourselves on our loving ourselves really well so that we can give from that overflow of the love within us. So being true to ourselves. So as you breathe in, just start to breathe in your heart's intention for today, for this weekend, maybe for all the adventures and things you're doing this weekend, how you wish to be. If we can focus on being true to ourselves, we can then be true to others. So today, if you'd like, you can use this optional mantra, I am true to me. rippling that truth out to the world. So let's just soften our hands down in front of us and slowly walk our hands forward as we fold forward, just starting to bow down, just surrendering the final things we're holding on to. And as we let the head melt down, maybe we find support of a block or the earth beneath us. Or maybe we rock our head, shake it out, no, shake it out, yes, and really spread the fingers. And now just slowly still the movement, start to come and roll back up with the head stacking last. Let's open the hands out to the sides and inhale, rise, and then drop the right hand down as you reach up and over. Start to feel the hip glue down. And then inhale, rise back to the top, exhale, other hand floats down. Now inhale, rise. Let's draw the hands together overhead and melt them down to the heart. And now slowly interlock those fingers, turn the thumbs down to the earth, slowly melt the gaze down. And as you breathe in, just drawing the hands back to the heart, I am true to me, and just notice your interlock so we can switch it. So now spread your arms, spread your wings. As you breathe in and lift high. And then exhale, let the hands melt down behind you and just look a little bit higher as you drop the hands down behind you. Opening the front of the heart, I am true to me. And then exhale, melt the gaze down, and let's switch our cross. So now bring that other foot in front, switching across, and bring the hands down again in front of you. Slowly exhale, melt down, fold forward. Whatever you want to do here as you're down towards the earth, just humbling yourself and surrendering yourself. And just let that inhale draw you back to the top with the head stacking last. Take your time. Then let your hands melt out to the outsides of you. Inhale, rise. Right hand softens down again, just reaching up and over again. Inhale, rise. Exhale, other hand softens down. Inhale, come back to the top, melt the hands together and let them melt down to the heart. And now switch the interlock. So now it should be a little awkward. Make sure the other index finger is closer to you. And now press the palms away, thumbs down, and melt the gaze down. Feel the back of the heart expanding, receiving. And as we breathe in our mantra, I am true to me, draw the hands back to the heart, sitting tall. And now open the hands to the side, spread your wings, lift high. As you exhale, hands come down behind you and lift the gaze, lift the front heart. I am true to me. As you look up to the expansive sky or ceiling above you. And then exhale, melt the gaze down again. Let's slowly lengthen out our legs forward. So just bounce the knees out, see how the hamstrings are feeling today. Bounce those knees out a little bit. And then when it feels right, find some flexion through the feet. You can keep a soft bend through those knees. And then let's inhale, rise, and slowly revolve to one side. Just breathe here. Now allow the gaze to come forward as you look towards your toes, over that front shoulder. Now inhale, come back all the way forward, all the whole body, unwind, and then exhale, revolve the other way. We're just bringing out that spiritual disease of the falsehood. And then let the gaze now fall forward, come forward, look to the toes. And then draw the whole body forward. And then melt the canvas, or take the canvas as your hands melt down, fold down gently. Keep a nice soft bend through those knees. Start to feel the whole awakening through the back body as you feel the full support of the earth beneath. Now gently walk your hands back in space. Maybe make the fist behind you if that feels good, or just bring your hands behind you, point the fingertips towards your glutes. So you can either come into bent knees and come into your reverse bridge, or keep your legs long into reverse plank. Now feel the energy along the front side of your body as you lift your hips to the sky. The gaze can look up or keep the chin tucked. And then exhale, melt the hips down. And now let's cross the feet at the ankles and press ourselves forward. We're going to sink back to our child pose for just a breath or two. Let go of any final holding, rock your body side to side. Rock the forehead, releasing any of those thoughts that may be lingering. Release them back to the earth. Now let's slowly inhale, come on up. Let's grab the hands here underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's start to flex through the toes to really start to expand the soles of our feet. Point those index fingers forward, and then let's cover those knees. So this is a good place to stay. If you wish today, you can be right here. Or maybe you wish to do that gentle crawl. As you stay true to you, just do the opposite hand and foot walking gently forward, and then reverse. So do that a few times, walking forward and back on your mat, trying to keep the knees right above the earth. Last time, and we'll find our way back to the back edge of our mat. Soften the knees down. And just pause and rock your hips side to side, rock those hips side to side, let the feet relax. Just look over your shoulders. And then make your way back to the center and just move a little bit now up and down with the spine. So moving through your cat-cow breath for a few breaths. Just awakening those last few tight, sticky spaces that might be lingering there through the spine. And when it feels right, just find your stillness again. We're going to take our hands, one hand foot forward, flex through both feet again, and start to lift those hips high. And now just march out those legs, walk your dog. When it feels right, you start to still the legs, start to sink the heels down. Feel the hips lift high, feel the navel reach to the spine, shoulders plug in, back and down. And now let's lift that right foot high. Keep the toes turned down. We're going to step our foot through. So stepping the foot through between the hands. And let's start to pivot that rear foot. Take a moment to exhale as you sink your hips back and just keep as much bend through the front knee as you need. And then begin to find your softness again. We're going to slowly roll up into our warrior two. So reverse cartwheel up, engaging the core, draw the hands up and spread your arms along the horizon. Now just turn the palms up for this moment so that you can open your hands to receive and let the shoulders soften down. And then just turn the palms forward and come into the goalpost arms. And looking out over that front elbow, I am true to me. Just breathe in the strength in this power as you hold your warrior. Now reach your hands back along the horizon. And let's slowly inhale our arms up. We're going to wrap that rear hand, the left hand, the thumb and index finger around that front wrist. Press the palm up and then gently lean back. So you can look back or look maybe to the in front of you. If you'd like to look back, just look back towards your pinky toe. Now let your hands release, expand again. Slowly inhale, expand and extend the front leg, maybe heel toe that rear foot in a little bit if you need. And then reach out from your hip to find your triangle pose. Find whatever support feels supportive today. There's a block behind your calf or not. And then let's start to circle that top arm. Remaining true to ourselves. Not getting pulled into the falsehood of this world. One more time around, and then just let the back hand rest down on the low back as you bend the elbow. Take that moment to pause, maybe look up. Now inhale, rise up, reach your arms back to letter T, slowly soften, bend the front knee. And then we're going to slowly pivot both feet, or pivot your rear foot. So pivot that rear foot and then draw your hands to your heart. So now here we are in our high lunge, hands at the heart. So now we're going to slowly revolve. So we begin to revolve towards the bent knee. Stay high or plug that outer elbow into the outer thigh. You may need to wiggle the rear toe back. Just breathe here as you feel the stabilizer muscles working there in the ankle. Now let's soften down the rear knee. Staying revolved, release the foot if that feels right. Now slowly unwind, return back front, and then move your hands higher, let the hands come down to the earth, whatever is best for you. Give me a little crescent lunge here as you gently lean back. And then exhale, start to let the hands melt down to the earth. Exhale again, sink those hips back, lengthen out the front leg. When you're ready, begin to shift the weight back forward. We're going to flex the rear foot, lift the knee. Now we're going to take that step back, so stepping the right foot back. Just be in your down dog, or maybe take a moment to go to child's pose. And then just begin. When you're back in down dog, lift the left heel high, keep the toes pointing down, hips squared with the earth. And now slowly step forward, stepping the foot between the hands. And begin to pivot the rear foot, anchoring it in. And as you exhale, just sink the hips back, lengthen out the front leg to whatever degree is right. Keep a soft bend if you need. That hamstring still feels a little tight. And then slowly begin to bend the front knee. And then when you're ready, engaging the core, inhale, reverse cartwheel up, warrior two. Turn those palms up one more time. Receive. And now turn the palms forward, bending at the elbows, goalpost arms. I am true to me. Just check your position here as you check the front knee to make sure it's staying aligned over the ankle, pressing out over the second, third toes. And now re-lengthen out the arms, expanding along the horizon. And inhale the arms up, wrap that right thumb and index finger around the left palm. Now press that left palm high and gently drift back as you look back or just look forward or look to like in front of you along the long side of the mat. Just feel the expansion here through the side front body. You want to keep that expansion there as we move. Just slowly exhale, let the hands melt down. And then inhale, lengthen out the front leg, and we're going to reach to triangle. So reach out from our hip, keeping that space. Let the fingertips float down, maybe on a block or mat. And then let's start to circle that top arm back down and around. Use as little support or as much support as you need. Last time around, and then let the hand, the back palm rest to the low back as you bend the elbow, release that anterior delt. Maybe look high. Then just shift the gaze back along the horizon. Inhale, rise, and back to your warrior two. Be here as you do the subtle refining pieces, maybe anchoring in that outer edge of the foot, lifting the inner arch of the rear foot. So now we're going to slowly turn the rear foot forward into high lunge, draw the hands to the heart. Really feel the hips squaring off at the front of your mat. So now we're going to start to revolve in our high lunge. So slowly revolve, either staying high or drawing low. Let that outer elbow rest down to the outer thigh. Even now, to feel the belly press into the thigh. As you remain true to you, lean out any falsehood. Begin to melt the rear knee down when it feels right. Staying revolved, maybe the rear foot relaxes. Now slowly come back forward. You can bring your hands down or draw them up to the sky. Maybe a little crescent lunge again. But as you exhale, let the hands melt down, framing the front foot. Exhale again, sink the hips back. Perhaps begin to notice how much longer your hamstring is feeling now. Do your subtle shift, shifting your weight back forward. Anchor the palms in, lift the rear foot and knee, or lift the rear knee, stepping that left foot back. Find your down dog again. We're going to do just our little flow here so you can come into your kneeling plank or plank as you shift forward. Feel free, you can always come down to your elbows. Just take a moment to pause here and plank to feel the strength and the power that you are as you remain true to you. And now you can slowly melt down or chaturanga down. So if you chaturanga, slowly shift the weight forward, hug the elbows in, lower the hips down, relax the feet back. And then find your cobra, maybe mini cobra or maybe full cobra. You get to choose. Then exhale, melt down, and we're going to slowly press ourselves back. Just take a little break there and child's pose. Lift your body up and sink back. Just feel the full support here. Now just start to spread those fingers very wide. Point the index fingers forward. Just starfish those hands open. Now inhale, rise. Flex the feet, lift the hips, down dog. If you find puppy dog, that's good too. Whatever's for you. And now bend, soften the knees. We're going to step, hop, walk forward, however you wish to get to your forward fold. Find the front edge of your mat and just hang here as you hang like a rag doll. Now let's slowly draw our fingertips to our shins, L-shaped body. Active back extension, navel to the spine. Hands to the hips or out to the letter T. Soften at the knees and inhale, rise. Come all the way high. And just let the hands melt down to the heart. So just begin to rock your weight forward and back to find your firm foundation as we start in mountain stance before we do some balance work to remain true to ourselves. Of course, we got to challenge our balance. So now once you find your firm foundation, just lift the toes, spread them far, deep, and wide, and then begin to plant them in one toe at a time, big pinky toe to the big toe. And then slowly lift up the right heel. Slowly turn the knee open and find our tree pose. So I'm going to invite you to do tree today with the ankle above or below the knee, because we're going to just add a little strength progression to this if you'd like. So feel even more of the openness through your hip now. Before we add that strength progression, maybe you move your arms. Maybe they reach high. Maybe you wrap one hand behind the other as you interlock the hands. Then melt the shoulders down. Imagine the beautiful tree that you are as you remain true to you. And now unlock the hands if they're locked overhead. Draw the hands back to the heart. We're going to add that optional strength progression. So maybe you sink back in space as you sink back and sit back to a chair in that figure four. Always know you can grab support if you need it. Strengthening ourselves as we work on our balance. And now inhale, come back up, lift the hips, and then turn the knee forward. And then we're going to trace the front of the shin with our right hand as we draw the knee down. So we got to dance a little bit too to be our truest version of ourselves. Right? Thought it would be appropriate to do a little dancer's pose. Let's just start by releasing that quad though. Definitely a hot one today, right there. So feel free if you feel like you need even more release through the quad, stay here, or maybe just start to reach the left hand forward. Maybe start to hinge forward as you soften the left knee, pressing the right foot into the hand. Keeping the knee inside of the body. You don't want to pull the knee outside of the hip, so you want to try to keep it inside of the body. Breathe here and be the dancer you are. Play, remaining true to you. As you say, I am true to me. Slowly come back up. Let the knee reach down towards the earth. And then release the foot. Slowly cross that right foot over the left. And then drop the right hand down, reach the left arm up. Inhale, switch hands. Left hand reaches down, right hand reaches up. Now inhale, come center, uncross the foot. And just do a little rock forward, side to side. We rock the hips out. Little rock forward and back. So re-root in your feet to give you that firm foundation. Then we'll draw the hands back here to the heart. I am true to me. Maybe you start to lift the toes again. Well, feel the four corners anchor in and then plant the toes in. So now we'll slowly lift the left heel, bending at the knee. Now draw the ankle above, below the knee where it feels good in your figure four, tree pose. It's a beautiful blue dragonfly that's over here. So you can stay right here. Maybe you wish to reach those hands up. Maybe trying to switch the cross of your hands, whichever wrist was in front, bring that one behind. Maybe interlock the hands or just draw the palms together. Envision your tree again as you stand true to you. Now let the hands melt down, return back to the heart as we prepare to add our strength in. Press into the palms, slowly sink your hips back. Seated figure four. I am true to me. As we strengthen into that. True to ourselves. Slowly inhale, lifting the hips. Now slowly turn the knee forward and we're going to begin to trace the front of the shin. Maybe grab a strap and then turn the knee down towards the earth, keeping the thighs parallel. So just start to release the quad as you breathe through the front of the quad. There's some really big spiders out there. So now let's move into our dancer pose, or maybe you stay there. Start to reach the right hand forward. Maybe start to hinge forward as you soften the right knee, pressing that left foot into the hand. Be the beautiful dancer that you are as you remain true to you. Push the foot a little bit more into the hand into the foot. Slowly coming back up, slowly drawing the knee back down. Release that right hand down, release the foot, and just let that left foot now cross over in front of the right. Drop down the left hand, reach the right hand high. Inhale, rise. Left hand reaches, right hand reaches down. Now inhale, come back center, uncross the foot, come back to your mountain stance. Let's just turn the palms forward. Just soften the eyes down. Just notice what's going on as you remain true to you, standing firmly in your mountain stance. Doing the subtle refining things of lifting the inner arches, spiraling the inner thighs in and back, lifting the pelvis up to the navel. Head, heart, hips aligned, palms forward. And now let's take our inhale, rise with the hands, look high, upward hand salute, just mini back bend, look high, draw the pinkies towards one another. Exhale, hands melt down to the heart. And then let's take our inhale, swan dive, forward fold, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips. Find your forward fold. And now anchor in those palms. Oh, actually, I want to do a little gorilla. Okay, come on. So let's start to lift up the left foot and bring the left hand, the palm, the inside edge of the palm under the foot. So the back of the palm's on the earth. And then let's do the same thing with the right hand. And just massage the hands a little bit here. Maybe massage the feet a little bit with the fingertips. Inhale, we shake it out. Now release the hands one at a time. Just release those hands and then anchor them down. Let's put the left foot back and then the right. And then once you're back and down dog, you lift that right leg high and start to bend the knees. So let the knees bend. And then look underneath that right armpit. Perhaps you just circle that ankle a little bit as you release from the balance work. Maybe let it go the other way. We're going to do just a little more strengthening before we just find a little relaxation. So slowly turn the knee down. We're going to shift into tiger curl. So draw the right knee behind the right elbow as the weight shifts, shoulders over the wrist. Exhale, three-legged dog. Now draw the knee to the left elbow. Inhale, lift high. Let's do that 2 more times. So reaching out to the right. Elbow, back to the left. Back. Last time each way. Gotta get that last little strengthening. Reach it high. And then let's draw that knee behind the wrist as we move to pigeon pose. So let the foot or let the knee come down, let the shin come down, and then relax that left knee down. Walk the knee back or walk the foot back so the knee can find that resting position above the kneecap. And then let's look back at our rear ankle to make sure that the ankle and foot are in alignment. Make those subtle tweaks. And then let's slowly walk our hands around the right knee. Just look back over the left shoulder now. I'm sorry, the right shoulder. I knew what I meant. And then slowly come back. And then come on down. Slowly come down. Let your elbows come down or come onto your blocks. And now let's find a little restoration here. As we let the earth hold us. Maybe let your forehead come down. Just let go of all doing now. Let that restoration roll over and through you. I am true to me. Breathe in for another deep breath. You see if you can send a little bit more breath into those tight sticky spaces. Even your mantra, I am true to you. Just let your body marinate in that truth that you are. Going to come up. So taking your time to slowly begin to rise up. We're going to rock off to that right side and draw that left leg out and over. So crossing at the knees, crossing the ankle above the knee, whatever you can do. And then just lower that left foot outside of that thigh, that right thigh. So now sitting tall, let's draw the right arm out to the side and wrap it around that left knee. Reach that left hand high, drop it down behind you like a kickstand. So now breathe slowly, deeply, and feel your belly press into the thigh. Now slowly release, return back forward. Just softening that knee down or the ankle above the knee, wherever it feels good for you to let yourself rest here. And we're going to fold forward here. So take your time to just gently fold over those front knees in whatever position is right for you with those legs. Breathe through those hips, especially that left outer hip. Now slowly inhale, rise. Let's uncross the legs. You can just kind of swing them both to the left, coming back onto your hands and knees. And then let's press back to down dog. So hands one-handed forward, press your hips high, downward dog. And then we'll go to that left side. So now lift the left heel high and bend the knee. Find your attitude position. Maybe look under the left arm or right arm, wherever you're called to go. Maybe release the ankle. Start to feel that expansion through the hip as we open our hip here. Breathing in, I am true to me. Now let's add our last little bit of strength here. So slowly turn the knee down. We're going to shift the weight forward to plank as we draw the elbow behind the left elbow, or the knee behind the left elbow. Inhale, heel to the sky. Now draw the knee to the right elbow. Inhale. 2 more times each side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, twist. Last time, drawing the knee to the elbow. Finishing up. And reach it high again. And then slowly find pigeon. Draw that left knee behind the left wrist. Start to lower the right knee down and walk it back. Let's look over the right shoulder first. Look back at the ankle and the foot to make sure it's in alignment with those tweaks. Then we're going to revolve. So slowly turn back forward. Walk your hands around the left knee. And look over the left shoulder. And slowly return back forward. And then you get to go where you want to go. Maybe come down or stay high. Start to soften down as you feel all of that support that's there to hold you. As you remain true to you. Releasing through our hips that falsehood, that false self that we've learned to put on because of our world. for now. That's all while doing, just be. For another few moments, another few breaths. I am free to move. Now slowly rise up, onto your hands, take your time. Let's rock to the left side, draw that right leg over. And if you can, draw the foot outside of the left thigh. And then sitting tall, sit tall, and then let's reach that left hand out, wrap it around that right knee, reach the right hand high and drop it down behind you. Feel the twist as you lift. Bring out any more falsehood that might still be lingering. I am true to me. And now slowly unwind, return back forward. Let the knee soften down, walk the foot so you're resting on the outer edge of the foot. And then gently fold forward, head melts down. Just breathe through the back of the heart. And true to me as you breathe through the outer right hip. Slowly come on up, take your time, uncross the legs, and we're gonna roll down to our backs. So slowly roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. And then just lengthen out the body, send the arms overhead, lengthen out the legs, point, flex. And then get that last back body release, just rock your knees, draw your knees in, rock, roll the knees, circle them, or maybe find happy baby. So now slowly draw the knees back in and then take a moment to draw your body into a ball, tugging every fiber, every cell of your being into the center. And then exhale, lengthen the body out. And find your resting pose. Find whatever that is for you to find a little bit more ease so you can relax. Just allow the ripples of peace and freedom to just wash over you. As your breath rises and falls, it's like the tide washing in and washing out. So let it wash over you and through you. And as you rest there, begin to bring to mind someone in your life whose approval you seek. Bringing to mind someone in your life whose approval that you seek. And if you can, meditate for a few moments on why this feels so important, why this is so important to you. What is it that you think you need their approval of? Or what do you think their approval will provide? So rather than devising ways to get this approval, coming to an understanding of where the need in you comes from. So coming to an understanding of where this need in you comes from as you rest here. As you're breathing, we all have this need for love and belonging. So perhaps that's maybe what some of it came to you. So imagine as you're breathing in and out, imagine this love and belonging as you remain true to you, start to wash over you. Letting yourself receive the love that you freely give to others, letting yourself receive the love that you are. I am true to me. Stand in my truth and power. So maybe just draw your hands to your heart as you bring that into your heart, as you seal that into your heart to take with you into this weekend, to spread and give from that overflow of the love that's in you and the truth that's in you. Now just coming back slowly, starting to move your wrists, your ankles, your toes, your fingers, your nose. Start to bring yourself back. And when it feels right, just take your time to roll to one side, whatever side's calling to you. And then begin to let your body start to roll up. So press that top hand into the earth as you slowly breathe in gratitude for this earth underneath you. As you slowly find your seated position, a nice easy cross. And then as we come back into the space, reorienting, just slowly draw the fingertips outside of your hips. As we breathe in, I am true to me. Let your hands come together overhead. Breathe that into your mind of remaining true to you. Breathe that into your words of remaining true. Finally, plant that deep into the heart with the thumbs reaching to the heart, heart reaching to the thumbs. Now let the mind meet the heart in that truth, in that love. And breathe in the truth and the love that you are. Now slowly lift the head, open the eyes, and namaste. Thank you. Thank